Hello, it is I, the man who makes videos. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but perhaps they will come easier upon doing the first one. So mostly, this channel is gonna be dedicated about I'll be honest, I'm gonna bitch a lot about society because I don't have much to say. I guess sometimes you can achieve or get to a point where you just don't have things to say anymore. So, I think I have more happiness than everybody, but I don't have really anything. I don't really have much of anybody. And I live in a tent, as you can see. Well, I like life and living up until the point when it comes to interacting with others. You see, my eyebrows are always angry like this. This is not normal for me. You see this now? Not normal. This is normal. I've been this way since I was like 6 years old. I'm like 30. I have to really... You see this? I'm trying so hard right now. See this? You know how hard this is? You know how hard it is? Huh? Okay. So, see a lot of people... There I go again. I'm gonna try to hold it like this. I see a lot of people making videos, shuffling around their still little tarot cards. And today, blah blah blah. You know, that shit's irritating. You know, why do you need tarot cards to speak? You know? Why do you need a device? Why do you need technology to speak? Yeah, I've had tarot cards before, okay? And it's silly. Crystals aren't silly. Black mirrors are not silly. I know I'm contradictory. I'm aware of the contradictions. But do we not constantly live in contradictions? Who doesn't live in a contradiction? Consciousness is real weird because it changes all the time. But that's a good thing. And like, yeah, I get rid of anything I don't need. You know, I got like 2 t-shirts. You only need one. A pair of pants and a pair of shorts. Unfortunately, you need multiple pairs of underwear and socks. But you know, because if you take a shower with all your clothes, you can wash them. There's so many things in society we're programmed. They tell us that we need, but we don't need it. It's all part of the programming. There's a lot of programming here. I'm an expert programmer. I can see the programming. It's not difficult to see it. If you have eyes and they're open and they can see, then you can see. Sometimes I get egotistical. Sometimes I think, like, I can just crush everybody around me. You know, like, I can just go around going inside of people's heads. But I don't do it, though. I've never done it. Besides, like, maybe, like, if well, I don't have any friends, but let's say I had friends, and then they offended me, and I was in a state of feeling the need to offend them back, I would offend them so deeply that it deflects the offense they attempted to put on me. So I guess in a way, you're crushing your opponent. And then they're like, oh, you have opponents? That's already a bad way of thinking. I'm like, okay, what about the duality of good and evil? You know, everything's a... There we go again. I get kicked out of a lot of places. Very recently, I still have got kicked out. But also, sometimes places don't kick me out. Like I called out the situation of them letting this very unstable person who puts people in danger and brings upon physical aggression. I said, you've already had every opportunity to trespass and get rid of this man, but you choose not to. 5 minutes later, I was trespassed. Normally I can't judge people, but I just feel if you reach a certain age, you're to be judged. That's the test. Is it not the reason for this all? You can't judge because you do not contain the capacity to judge. Meaning, judgments are ultimately projections. And they say nothing about the judged, but everything about the judger. Did I say that wrong? Anyways. Judged. Judge. They say everything about the judge and less about the judged. There you go. I'm sure that will be written down and saved for all of humanity. See, is that delusion or ego? Or both? I don't know. Every time the birds whistle, it sounds like cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. That's because I watched the TV show Trailer Park Boys. And Randy is obsessed with eating cheeseburgers. And, that's a form of projection. He hears cheeseburger. But someone else hears hamburger. Someone else hears something else. Back to the tarot card stuff, though. I'm calculating right now. I'm trying to justify the use of such technology, and I just cannot systematically justify it. It creates possessions. Not demonic possessions or like body possessions, just intellectual possessions. It restrictions. But again, what do I know? Because I'm not that person. I do not live inside that person's body. Ultimately, I feel like everything can be said without being spoken. It would make sense. You could transfer everything that needs to be understood through. There it goes again. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. A simple gaze into the eyes. A transfer of data, understanding, awareness. No! Oh, see, if you just sneeze like that, you're gross. But that's incorrect, because there are probably 1,000 reasons, unlimited reasons, why someone could validly justify not putting their hand in front of the mouth when sneezing. I welcome conflict. Everybody looks at me. Everybody thinks about me. Everybody focuses on me. Is that egotistical? And there's a couple. I don't know. I destabilize things. I bring things out. If someone's teetering on the edge of doing something, and then I walk in the room, that thing will be done. If I never went in that room, the thing would have never happened. I guess I'll make videos regularly, but that statement in itself is just like retarded. Because how could you assume such thing in the future? More validly. See, I've never said that before. Validly. 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 Yeah, but I don't have a lot of things. I don't really have much stuff at all. Okay. You know. Yeah, all these cornballs with their damn tarot cards. So when they started off with that, they're trying to show off when they do that. They're not really, okay? That's my projection. Because I like to show off. See, there are valuable lessons in what I have transferred today. Lessons of which I am directly conscious of, and lessons of which I am unconscious of. Sometimes I just want to put a bag over my face. And then things will be even more destabilized. You know, see how it is? You just gotta be yourself, you know? Like, I used to just want to hide my face so people don't fucking look at me. And I used to think that, like, being bald was, like, you know, unattractive, but it's not. Because look at me. I'm stunning. I'm intellectually gifted. I'm physically gifted. I'm aesthetically gifted. I'm disproportionately gifted. I guess I'll just say some fucking shit I know, okay? Your consciousness is intertwined and codependent on things you can't see and you're not aware of. Internally and externally. Everything abides by a technical system. Preferably things are done in order. It's already been almost 20 minutes. Some other things that I know. Well, I can't recall them right now. I'm not going to try to force to. You're not to force things. Force things creates resistance. Resistance creates mechanical damage. I used to see things when I was a little kid. I saw things up until a couple years ago. I stopped seeing them because, well, it would be a risk. Well, because I would just destroy whatever's in front of me. You know, like I used to see like ghosts, like crawl up the walls and shit. You know, Like, and one time I was sleeping, I woke up. Yeah, okay, not that the people who watch this video are gonna propose such argument, but to say it's a hallucination or not real, or you know, is nonsense. Because there's already conscious systems that are clearly defined, that are present uh, within these phenomenons that disprove those claims, which is a video in itself. But these things are conscious intelligences. There we go again. Release the eyes. And that was cool. But if I saw something like that, see, I have a knowing that I cannot see those things anymore because I'm so much more powerful than those things. You see, because the last time I saw a ghost was still, or whatever it was, not just a ghost, but these things crawl up the walls like, they had like, their fingers are like pointy. You know, a lot of these like, old depictions in like cartoons and shit. You know, imagine like some very like rigid, pointy fingers, and it's like just pure blackness. And it's like the face looks like the shape is like almost like kind of like got like lightning bolt vibes on the edges and shit. And I just woke up, and it was in a sideways vertical position with its arms. You know how like in like kids' scary shows like Scooby-Doo, there'll be like a monster like peering sideways like this, like it was doing some of that kind of stuff. But I wasn't scared. It's like it ran away when it saw me. And you know, I really do wish I could know what that was. Like, if I could get down to the technical, you know, the actual definitive information on like exactly what, because I have very analytical, I just want to know things to know it. A deep urge to know things. You know, like stupid questions. But I want to know. And you know, if you don't know the dumb things, you can't know the intelligent things. Because if you know the intelligent things without knowing the dumb things, well, you really don't know anything in the first place. It's just an illusion. It's like peaking early. It's like teaching a little kid to beat people up. You're gonna fuck his path up, you know? It's destabilizing. It's like the bullies, you know? But those are just projection too. I just trying to get into martial arts and stuff. And sometimes I just saw like this little bitty kid just like fighting, and obviously, you know, it's not gonna be good for them. But I'm just gonna take off my no judgment mask. These people are fucking stupid, man. All these motherfuckers around me are stupid ass motherfuckers. Maybe 1% of them maybe have a little bit of better understanding, and they're not up their own ass. You know, like people are just so stunned in my presence. You know, they're just so stunned because they can't deny it. They can't deny that I speak truth and I hold high vibrational power and energy. People used to always mess with me. Nobody messes with me anymore. I welcome it. As it'll make me stronger or whatever. I've already endured so much shit. I mean, what? You know, what? Like if you know, you know, you know. Like, you have to know to know. Knowing is not like, knowing is wisdom. Well, somewhat. But, yeah, I'm gonna end the video and go back to watching SpongeBob. But I have a lot to teach. If you bastards would listen, maybe we'll get into heaven. But if you don't listen, you maybe will go to hell. You think I'm already subscribing to some kind of pre-made system or some shit that you disagree? No. Those are called dimensions and levels. See, just upon using these words, it reflects your projections upon hearing them. And it basically, it's an argument generator is what it is. If you truly want to understand the knowledge and acquire the wisdom, just be open. And what does they say? Let go. Stop getting all emotional because you heard one segment of the message that you think you interpreted in a way that you disagree with. Yeah. I mean, I had divine intervention. I was nothing. And I evolved into nothing. See? Fine. It's one word, multiple meanings. There are some things that you should be aware of, but not fully experience. You should be aware a gun can kill you. Well, you shouldn't be aware of the outcome of being on the other end. I used to have weapons and stuff, and like, I just use magic now. I don't need weapons. I mean, having a weapon in itself is just a negative thing for me. Yeah, it seems a pretty negative thing. I don't even have anything. All I have is a little bitty micro pair of scissors for cutting thread. Well, that's not a weapon. See, if you need a weapon, you're not training your mind enough. Or you're being sent to fucking war. And you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go to war. Not for the government. Not for the government. See, some things are house of cards, and those cards need to fall. I'll leave it at that.